He's called a little short shit. And whatever he does, whatever decisions he has to make out there, must be made outside the book. Must be made on the fly in the situation, the social situation he finds himself in, provided what he has to work with, his phenotype, his temperament, the engrams, the past stimulators, the unfinished business of the past, the things he should have taken care of, the details he should have paid attention to but did not, the anticipations for the future that he should have had but did not, because he was myopic, because he was short-sighted in his choice of behavior, because he tried to emulate hero figures, the wrong people he identified with, and wanted to garnish their results. But he goes 5'3" with a fat belly and a moon face, and no personality and no appearance. These are the givens. And these factors are more primordial than anything else. They're what he begins with, they're what he starts with. This is his foundation. And he acts then as he must, until he gets control of the must, until he finds out what his musts are. And then he slowly and painfully and through a lot of struggle and personal agony starts to turn things around a little bit and develop a style and a personality to get around all these handicaps. And in that sense, the short, small, challenged man, the ugly man, the troll, the dwarf, as determined by others, because he did nothing whatsoever to change that impression, to challenge that impression successfully. He stuck with it. And if everybody sees him that way, he better believe it. That's the truth he has to work with. And if he has any hope whatsoever to get any hot genital striving needs met, he's going to have to go through that hard crucible. Call the environment, call the social other. Nothing is going to come easy to him. It's a jungle, it's a war out there, it's a battle. The less said, the better. The more he talks, the more he's losing options, are slipping away from him. What he says and does out there has to be very carefully calculated. He's got to look far down the road. He's got to act and accept the challenge of the now in the situation. And he has to begin with the premise, I could never have that. We're talking here in this context about the women. And we're talking here in this context about the social conformation of the short, small little man, the ugly man, the Quasimodo. We're not even talking about sexual gratifications because he's a long way from that. That's at the end of a long book. And he has to continuously self-interrogate. How did I do now? What's my next move going to be? Who am I right now in this situation? What's the challenges I face here and now? And in his situation, he's isolated. He's a rock, he's an island. The only answers he can get, the only assistance he can get, the only hope he can get that's realistic, practical, and fair comes from himself and from nowhere else. That's why the Tony Robbins type is a joke to this particular man. Now, Tony Robbins' philosophies and approaches and strategies will work if he has something to work with. That means if the individual he's counseling, quote unquote, for a lot of money, for mucho dinero, mucho cremata, El Buckles, mucho El Buckles, has to have 90% of the solution, 95% of the solution already, and Tony adds another 5%, just a little push. He knows the challenges he's working with. He knows the candidates he's choosing as his demonstrations, as his success stories. He's cherry picking. Let the discussion start.